Hi guys, I'm Westcliff. Welcome back to my channel if you're a subscriber, and welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be discussing with you my May makes. So if that's something you want to see, please stay tuned for more. So what have I been up to? Well, it's been an interesting month and I've actually managed to make quite a few bits. I'm very pleased with my makes. So those of you that watch my plans video, you'll know that throughout May I wanted to get made up some bits in preparation for my holiday. And we are only going away in the UK and we're going slightly more north. So seasonally, I've tried to find things that I can either layer up or that, let's face it, some of the stuff I've made probably isn't appropriate for taking on holiday because it'll be too cold, but I wanted to make them, so I did anyway. So we'll start off with my first make from May, which is the one that I am wearing. This was a second attempt for me after failing miserably when I did this originally from a really bad sewing day. This is with another attempt at making the Style Arc Hope woven dress. Now, I'm really pleased with how this came together. I think it's beautiful. I mean, just look at this fabric. This fabric is just fabulous. It's bright and it's full of print and I love it. So I can't help but wonder whether part of the reason I like this dress so much is purely because of the fabric. So it's gorgeous. It's got a nice gathered waist. I have put in ties on the back just to pull it in that little bit more. And then it's got a nice long dress. At the back, it's also got a button that you've got a little bit of elastic. Well, I've got elastic. You can use a bit of fabric to do the join, but actually I don't think it needs it because I haven't had to use it to get this on and off my head. The only thing that I've deviated with from the pattern, one of the things that I did discover when I had my bad sewing day was I didn't like the interfacing. Now, I'm not a fan of interfacing anyway. It annoys me because no matter what you do, it rides up. So all I've done is I've done this with bias binding, and actually I really like the way that it looks. It was so much more straightforward and less fiddly around the bit where you put the button in and you've got the gap on the back. There is, I'm sure, a technical term for that, but I can't remember what it is. So this was my first make, and I would have to say it's a success, and I am going to make a few more for summer because it's light and breezy, but I could also wear this with a pair of tights and chuck on a chunky cardigan, and I think that it will be perfect for my holidays. So the next thing that I got made up in May is actually not something that I've got with me to show you because it's currently in the wash, and that's because I've worn it at least once a week since I made it. It was the first thing that I made at the beginning of May, and I used my Sewing Cafe voucher that I got from getting my third place prize for the Selfless Sew Challenge. I used it to buy this gorgeous viscose material from the Sewing Cafe, and I also bought the Davenport Dress by Friday Pattern Company. Now, I was really surprised at how well this came together. It's beautifully constructed. I made it in a size XL, and I think I made the right choice with that. I found it, the instructions were really good, but then I've also found, and I don't know if you know this, but on every most of the Friday Pattern Companies, Chelsea follows up with a YouTube tutorial, and for me personally, I'm a really visual learner. I like to watch and see how it's done, and then I'll go back to the instructions so I can interpret them better. So for me, that really worked, and it sort of held my hand even more so through the process of making the Davenport dress. So I'll pop in a picture so you can actually see the Davenport dress that I made. It's brilliant. I can see many more of these in my wardrobe. I think I'm going to make another version in coming months. And probably try and shorten the sleeves on it just so it's a bit more summery if we ever get any sunny weather, which is doubtful. But yeah, I'm pleased with this make. I thought it came out well. I love the fabric. The pictures don't do the fabric justice because it's such a busy fabric and it's so small, but I really do love it. So that was my second make, which was the Davenport Dress by Friday Pattern Company. So the third make that I got up to, now for those of you that watched my week in sewing, you will see that I had a lovely delivery from Dupes Designs. That delivery has been something that I have just been waiting for, and it was for this gorgeous fabric. Now I've actually got it here. So this was the fabric that came. I mean, again, with the vibrance and the prints, and oh, it's changing the light a little bit in here. It's making me look very bright. I think this is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And I knew when I ordered it, I ordered 3 meters. It came from Australia, that I wanted to make the Friday Pattern Company Westcliffe dress. Now I've done this without the ties because I don't necessarily feel the need to have the ties. Again, this is made up in an XL, but it's just, and it's got an extra tier. Get that up. Can you see that? I will pop in a picture of me actually wearing it so you can see. And I believe that this one is in there slightly, because this is one of their older patterns. I believe they only go up to a 4XL. So they go from an XS, so an extra small, XS, extra small, to a 4XL in this. And I made this in an XL. And I sit usually on patterns between a 14 and 16, depending on who the pattern maker is. But one of the other things that you can't see in the pictures is this beautiful gathering detail here. So you can see on the yoke, it just comes in and it does give it really good shaping. And one of the things that I love about this pattern is that it doesn't gape. I will pop a picture in here of me bending over. I know that's a really bizarre thing to say, I'm going to put a picture of me bending over in, but you can see how well my chest is held in. You know, I've got a rather large chest. So for me, that's great because I can actually wear this to work. And when I'm bending over in the interview room, you know, people aren't getting flashed down the top. It's great, really. So that is the Friday Pattern Company Westcliff dress. That is my third make of the month. So what else did I get up to? I made a simple make, knowing that we were going away and it was likely to be cooler, but probably not quite jumper wear. I wanted to use a lightweight cotton jersey to make up a Tilly and the Buttons billy top. Now the Tilly and Buttons billy top is a favourite of mine and I have got quite a few now, but I've tried them in a range of different fabrics just to see which ones I actually like. I've tried the short length, and with this one I decided to actually go for just the top version, no balloon sleeves, because I think that just makes me look a lot bigger than I did. In fact, the one that I did make with the huge puffy sleeves I've never worn because I just felt the fabric choice, I felt like something out of the 80s, to be perfectly honest with you. But this is the jumper that I made, and this fabric is a cotton jersey that I got from Neil's Fabric in Milton Keynes. Now they do have an online shop, but their jerseys and their viscoses aren't online, and this was actually from one of their remnant bins. They do like a 5 meters for £5, and I know they don't have that on there. So I've put on a lovely black ribbing, and I've used that for the hem as well and for the cuffs, and I found that that really made a lovely difference to that fabric, and it just gave a little bit of I don't know how to describe it, probably made it a bit more interesting when you wear it. Just gave it some definition. There you go, that's the right word, definition. So that is the Tilly and the Buttons. All of Tilly and the Buttons sizes, I believe, go up to a UK size 34 and start from a UK size 4, I believe. So that's that there. I will pop a picture in of me also wearing it so you can see. So the next thing that I made is, again, another Tilly and the Buttons pattern. Now I ordered a some fabric godmother fabric called Artemis, I think it is. Artemis, how many can I say it? How many times can I say it? I will get my words out. Apologies. You'll get used to this. The more you watch me, you'll know that I trip my words up quite a lot. So this is the fabric. It's this gorgeous kind of funky black fabric with faces and other face. Oh, is that a goat? No, it's not a goat, is it? It's got the horns, moons and beautiful suns and stars. It's just a really fun fabric. I absolutely fell in love with it. I'd ordered initially about 1.5 meters because it was quite expensive. It was £8 a half metre from Jenny Stitches. I know that's not expensive in the range of some fabrics, but for me, that's quite a lot for me to spend on a fabric, because I still feel like I'm developing somewhat. I'm producing some beautiful garments now, but I'm really scared when I spend money on expensive fabric. So anyway, I decided to turn this into a tried and tested pattern, which is my Tilly and the Buttons indigo dress. And I have done the short sleeves, and I have also popped the bottom tier on, and I've added some waist ties just to draw it in. Now I'll pop a picture in of me wearing it. Now I do love it, don't get me wrong, I think it's gorgeous and I will continue to wear it. But, that's my bed creaking by the way. I have made this pattern so many times, and in fact I am going to do a whole video on my Tilly and Buttons indigo dresses just to show you, because they all look slightly different because I've made them all in different fabrics. But the last two that I have made, and I don't know why, well actually I think I've worked out why, I've found that the shoulders have been dropping below the shoulders rather than sitting there, where my original ones that I've made, they sat really nicely. And it was the same with this particular one. Now I did actually pull it in a little bit more, but it still sits, and you can see it in the picture, it still does sit, so it's just slightly off. It doesn't bother me. I mean, chances are with this particular dress, it will be, you know, for weather where it's that little bit chillier, and I dress it up with a cardigan anyway. And I do love it. I've had some really positive response. I think this is the most likes I've ever got on a post on Instagram. Literally, I think about 175, 200, yeah, 175 to 200, something like that on that particular post, which is the highest I've ever got on one of my posts. So I was pretty impressed with it. So obviously not many people are noticing it, or they are and they're just not saying anything. I have started another Tilly and the Buttons indigo dress, more to try and resolve this problem. It's like a determination, I need to stop this. And I've dropped down a size, and actually it appears that I've lost a bit of weight. And I know that my figure and everything has changed about me since having my hysterectomy. And I haven't actually made one since having the hysterectomy. And the last two that I have made, they're the ones that I've had issues with. So I'll keep those two. I love those two. I can't be asked to take them apart and put them back together again. So I will continue to wear them in the way that I choose to, that doesn't obviously show off the over dropped shoulder. So that was the Tilly and the Buttons indigo dress. Again, that's been, her size ranges have been extended up to a size 34 in that, and I made the size 6 in Tilly and the Buttons, which if I remember rightly is a 14 or a 16. Can't quite remember from her sizing. But I love it and I'm happy with it, and it was another successful make. And overall it was actually a successful make in the way it came together. There was no major issues, no problems, and again it fits nicely around the bottom of my bust and belly, so you know I can't really complain, can I? So I did get 2 other things sewn up this month. One was a toile and the second one was a redo after I'd done a toile. I don't have them with me because I wore them yesterday whilst I was working from home, which is what they will remain, and it's quite frustrating really. So I made up a Friday Pattern Company Saguaro trousers. The first time I made these up for a toile, they're a very beginner friendly pattern, they're great. But I, for some reason, after messing up the pockets, because I was using plain fabrics, basically I had done 2 legs the same way because the fabric was the same on both sides. There was absolutely no difference to it. So I took it apart. I'd redone the pockets again because I quite like the fabric, and then for some reason I attached the waistband on completely the wrong way. I don't even know how I managed to do that. Again, probably a bad sewing day. And then I just didn't cut the right length of elastic, and by this point, despite checking it, they were far too big, and by this point I'd given up. So when I came to making my red pair, and I'll pop a picture in of me wearing them so you can see, they're not too bad. I double checked, triple checked the elastic, and I've definitely made the elastic tighter, but it's still a bit big on me. And to top it off, even though it's a bit big, so it's probably not sitting as firmly on the waistline as it should do, I feel I need to go a size down. Now I am going to persevere with these because I absolutely love them. I think they are gorgeous trousers. I don't want to give up on this pattern. Okay, so I am going to make them again, but I'm going to size down, and I'm going to double, triple and quadruple check the size of the elastic around the waist and hop around the house and just make sure that they are tight and secure before I fix up that hole. So yes, that was the Saguaro trousers, and then to go with that I made a toile of the Remy Raglan top, which I'll pop back in a picture of me wearing my Saguaro pants because I'm actually wearing the top in that. The arms are unhemmed, but it was just a toile, but I wanted to show you what I'd done. This pattern is absolutely lovely and it comes together really quickly. I do need to size down. I made the size 16 and I thought that that would be perfect for me, but it turns out it's actually sitting a little bit big on me. So if I can size down on it, I think I'll have the perfect fit, and I can see many of them coming into my wardrobe because it was so comfortable. I used a fabric that I also got for this, a double gauze fabric, which I'd never sewn with, and I thought, well, if I'm making a toile, I might as well have a play with this. And I used my Sewing Cafe voucher towards this. And again, it wasn't towards this. I think this was actually me purchasing this at this point because it was only a £25 voucher, and I managed to get 3 meters of fabric and Davenport Dress pattern and this. So this was probably me spending the money on it. But I quite liked the little flecks of gold that it had on the double gauze. So I used that to toile it. I didn't feel it'd be a great loss if it didn't work out well. And I wore this as an outfit at home yesterday, working, and I will probably continue to do that just so I'm getting some wear out of what I'm making. And then at some point I might take the Saguaro trousers apart and try and pull them in a little bit but I've got to be in the mood for that. At the moment they've just gone somewhere that I can't see them, so I don't think about it. So that was everything that I got made up in the month of May. There's a couple of things that I didn't get done that were on my plans. Obviously I was hoping to make 2 sets of the Saguaro trousers. I was also hoping to get the Harper cardigan done. I knew I was being ambitious, and then I've gone off on a bit of a tangent making some things because I've wanted to use some fabric that I wasn't going to make. Now I shared some fabrics in my last May plans video, which was a green floral viscose linen and a purple floral viscose linen. Viscose I'm not even sure how I'm pronouncing that. And anyway, so I've lost my train of thought now. I really should stop the video, edit this bit out, but I'm not going to because that would just be too much to do. Instead, you can laugh at the way that I'm talking to you, or roll your eyes, your choice. So those 2 particular fabrics, I have decided the green one I'm going to use to make up another one of these. This came together really, really lovely. I think the print and the pattern on that, I've got to be careful with the flower placements around the bust area, but I just think I love green on me as well, and I just think it's drapey enough. I think it would work perfectly for that. So yes, I am going to make something with those that I shared with you in my plans video. So the next video that you will see from me is a plans video for June. I have, again, probably some really ambitious plans that aren't all going to get done. I know that I've got to spend some more time out in the garden. And then also I will be sharing with you at some point what I've actually taken away from my handmade wardrobe on holiday. It's quite exciting, and I believe some of these new bits will be in there as well. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Have an absolutely fantastic week, and happy sewing. Oh, and I forgot to say, if you've enjoyed watching this video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more of my content, and knock that notifications bell, or hit that click on the notifications bell, and you will be alerted when I bring new content out. I do upload once a week. Happy sewing.